So again, this is a demonstration of how to use the desktop function, which is basically screencasting is what we would call it. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit the, when you're into this, by the way, you want to be able to show as much as possible, and so I'm going to go ahead and close. I've already closed off this portion since I'm not using the webcam, and I'm going to go ahead and close, and also the chat session. Well, currently this is the chat session over here. I'm going to go ahead and close off this. I'm going to kind of hide this portion. There's a little button in here that I can hide that. I can also hide this portion on the right showing who's in class right now. So I have a very clean projection here, so to speak. And I'll go to the desktop function. And once I hit desktop up here, again, those of you that are in as guests, you don't see your tabs. So that's one difference between if you're coming in as guest or if you're coming in as a moderator. If you're coming in as a moderator, you will see all these tabs up here in the up in the upper right. Otherwise, you will not. Of course, if you're just watching right now, it doesn't really matter. But you should know that if you're coming in, you don't see it, then there's something wrong. If you think you're coming in as a moderator and you don't see the tabs, well, something happened. Okay, once I hit the desktop function, now down at the bottom, where I'm pointing right now, is a button that says Start Sharing. Now that button only shows up if I'm in the desktop function. So depending which tab you're into, different things show up down at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Start Desktop Function, or Start Sharing. And again, I'm going to tell it share the full screen. And if it's working properly, I should see, it's kind of like a mirror, having a mirror on two sides of you, and you look at one and you see the mirror behind you, and the mirror behind you would show you the mirror in front of you, which would show the mirror behind you, and you have kind of an eternity of mirrors going back and forth. And that's kind of what you see here when you first get into it, is it showing the desktop, showing the desktop, showing the desktop, showing the desktop, showing the desktop. Obviously that's not what you're wanting to show, but that is what you should expect to see if it's working properly. If it's not working properly, then you've got a problem, and you need to call then Maxim or whoever is in charge of the technology. So if I'm going to show, for example, let's say, in fact, maybe actually let me kind of complete what I started up in my classroom, up in my office. Let's say I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of work on SeaMonkey and then upload it to an online server. I've kind of shown that to you before, but I'll do it again. So I'm going to go ahead and start SeaMonkey, just for demonstration purposes only, and tell it I want to open a composer page. Now, here's what I'm seeing now, but if I click back real quickly to Hot Conference, then you can see it moved real quickly, but now I'm seeing the composer. I click back, you'll see the composer real quick, and then I'll go back to what it's seeing at the moment. So it is sharing this, and so I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to open a web page, and this is, again, just for demonstration purposes. This is not the point of the lesson. The point of the lesson is how to use the desktop function. Well, to use the desktop function, you can't be looking at the desktop function. Once you turn it on, you have to get off the desktop functioning. So once you see that the desktop function's working properly, now you go do what you're going to demonstrate. Whatever it is you're going to demonstrate, you're going to see. So I'm going to the L drive, and as I said, Aaliyah was working on this already, and I downloaded her web page, maybe I'll do a little bit of instruction while I'm here talking about it. So here's Aaliyah's. When I looked at hers originally, there is of course this is the SeaMonkey version. I'm going to go real quickly back in there in this version, and so you see what it looks like on a browser. And so I've demonstrated what it's going to look like on a browser. And in this one, she made one small mistake that some of you need to learn from. She did not do this video the right size. And so we see all sorts of gaps up here. There's too much space to the right of the logo. This part is squeezed. So this is only supposed to be, I think, 500 pixels. No, 300 pixels. What's the width supposed to? Yeah, 500 pixels. The others are bigger, but this one's supposed to be smaller to fit there. And so I redid it, and instead of that, because I wanted to expedite this, I went ahead and did this version for Aaliyah, and that's what it's supposed to look like. So this is a little bit wider. It shouldn't be this video should not be any wider than the logo. So that's what and I believe that's 500. So these other ones are bigger. This one is a little bit smaller. So be careful that you don't. These ones come out pretty much the same size as they're provided you in YouTube, but this one does not. You have to change the width of it. Okay. So I read it slightly so that to expedite this for Leah and for everybody else. So that's the one I'm going to upload. But then I also then created in here an index page, which I also transferred all of this over. I tried to. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Okay, so in here I also created an index page for a new folder on the internet server that I'm using. And so I'm going to upload to GoDaddy, my provider, a folder that has this new page on it. And this page then has a link to Aaliyah's presentation, which is this one. So I'm going to upload my index page and Aaliyah's page, and I need the logo in there as well. That's the only graphic we need to be sure is up there. So anyway, so that's what I had to do on SeaMonkey. Those pages are now, however, completed. So I went ahead, I tried, and I forgot to save it properly, but I'm going to go ahead and put these into a folder that I am going to upload. And I already created the folder, but I put these in there before they were finished. And so I need to replace, I need to replace the index one at least. So I'm going to, copy these over to this folder that I'm calling Multimedia Web. Is that the right one? Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and copy over the ones that are there just to make sure everything's right. And I'm going to just go test it one more time because I don't want to get up on GoDaddy and find that I've screwed it up. So I'm going to go into here again, and now with this one I'll go ahead and hit index, and it should show this video that I made recently as a demo of Moodle and Aaliyah's link. So that's working okay, and as long as I'm at it, I'll go ahead and hit the link and make sure hers is linked in okay. And so all that seems to be working okay. I'll go ahead and close those windows. I don't really need them right now. And I'm going to go to GoDaddy. And so all of this is being recorded while I'm doing it on the desktop function. I can go back. In fact, I can go ahead and click over there right now. Again, we can kind of check it. Is this working okay? If it is, then for just a brief second, when I go over to my web conference system, I should see this page right here. So I'm going to go over there. There it is. Now it flipped back, so I'll go back again. So I saw it was picking it up. It's recording this okay.